Hi everybody, in this video I would like to introduce my assignment, which is to develop an API. What my API can do is to add, modify, delete, and list out the event information. It can also print out the weather forecast information as well. Right here I'm going to show you about my API using the client website. So let's begin with adding a new event. So when we go to the events page, we can click the add events and then we can fill in all the information needed. After everything are filled in, we can click the submit button to submit the form. The new event will show up immediately. So let's try to update the information of the events by clicking the list item that belongs to the events you want to make some changes. So you can see that the event's name has been changed immediately, and we can try to delete an event. So you can see that it is deleted successfully. We can recreate an event. So that we can see that how the event list works. Okay, let's click the home button to go back to the home page. And you can see that the data has been printed out, not just the event details, but also the weather forecast. So let's look at the code. Here is how the system do routing. So for example, in the URL, when the user type events as the route, the system will call the print events list. So let's talk about the events list first. In the events list, the system will make a GET request to the Firebase RESTful API to get all the data, but get all the events data. So let's see. So here is the JSON string of the events data. So the RESTful API mainly to transfer the data using the JSON. This system uses the JSON to transfer the data to the client as well. So let's see how the system get the weather forecast data. So here uh, to get the weather data using this API, the route should be set to the weather, and it will call the print weather function right here, and the system will send a GET request to the Open Weather Map API, and then the Open Weather Map API will return the JSON data uh, to this server, and then this server will print out the JSON right here. So let's test the API of this system. So here is the JSON data, which contains the weather data, many weather data. We are not going to use it all, but we will filter it in the clients later. Let's see how this API add an event. So in the route setting, if the user sends a post request with the route set to event, the add events function will be called. So in the add events function, the system will get the form data using the formatable incoming form, and those data will be stored into the form, and those fields will be stored into an array. After that, the system will send a post request which contains the field values and the URLs. This system uses the RESTful API of the Firebase to deal with those processes as well. And at last, when everything was done, it will redirect to the managed event. Okay, let's look at the delete event of this API. When the clients send a post request with the route is event delete with the event key, and the system will call the delete event. So the system will get the form, and then and actually it is not necessary for all the user to send a form. Here is the most important part. Um, the system will send a delete request to the Firebase of to the Firebase RESTful API, and then it will simply delete the events data. After doing all the things, it will redirect to the manage events. So for the event information updating, in the roles, right here, when the client send a post request to this API with the roles set to events and provided the key of the events, it will call the update events function, and the system will get the form and store the field data into the fields array, and then it will send a patch request to the Firebase API with the event key and the fields data. So the RESTful API will do the rest, and after everything was done, and it will redirect to the manage event. Okay, let's talk about the clients. Let's talk about the index.html, and let's see how the system print the HTML files. When the system when the clients give a get request with no roles set, the system will call the index handler, and in the index handler, the system will call the print HTML function with the string of the index.html, which is the file name as the parameter. So let's look at the print HTML. In print HTML, the system will read the file using the path, and then it will print out the HTML. Just some simple function. So let's see the HTML in index.html. So in this HTML file, it's used the AngularJS to do the things. The events list controller is responsible the body of the index.html, which is included in the events list, and this file is imported in the head. So let's look at the events list.js. Here is the controller. In this controller, it will call the API that's developed by me twice, but with different roles. So it will get the weather data and the events data. It will get these data using the get request. First, it will get all the weather data and store it into the scope weathers. and then it will send the get request with the role set to events, and for the for all the data it will recreate it. We create an object um, which will store the metadata that will be used and the events data. All these objects will be stored into the events list array, and the events list array will be stored into the scope dot events. So this will be used to print the data, print the information into the index.html using the ng repeat, which is something like for each loop or for in loop. So the system print the data right here, and that is all I want to introduce for my assignment. Thank you for watching this video.